Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nikita. I am from CSE department. Let us know about basics in JavaScript. Starting with objects. All properties are typically strings or symbols, and the values can be any data type, including objects, arrays, functions, numbers, and strings. Objects are used to represent real-world entities, allowing you to model things like cars, users, or books in a program. JavaScript's objects are versatile and are used extensively to structure data and define behavior through methods. How to create objects? Here, creating objects. These are multiple ways to create objects in JavaScript. Creating an object, a new object, and constructor function. Here name, age or properties and greet is a method of the person object in object. And coming to new object, this is more verbose way to create an object, but it is functionally the same as the literal notation. And coming to constructor function, a constructor function is a template for creating multiple objects with similar properties and methods. It's a more structured approach, especially for object creation that requires specific initialization. And coming to accessing and manipulating objects, there are two primary ways to interact with an object's properties: dot notation and bracket notation. In dot notation, accessing properties directly uses the dot syntax in JavaScript. Coming to bracket notation, useful when the property names are dynamic or the property names contain spaces or special characters. And nested objects. Objects can be nested inside other objects. Nested objects can be accessed or modified using the same dot or bracket notation. Here is the example for nested objects. Accessing nested properties. How to access nested properties in a code? Here is the example for that. Coming to methods in objects. Methods are functions that are properties of an object. You can define behavior on an object by attaching functions to it. Here is the example for that. Now coming to functions in JavaScript. Here in function in JavaScript we have three ways, that is function declaration, function expression, and arrow function. Firstly, a function in JavaScript is a reusable block of code that can perform a specific task. Functions allow you to abstract logic, reduce code duplication, and make your code more modular and maintainable. Functions can accept input parameters and return output values, making them powerful building blocks in any JavaScript program. There are several ways to declare functions in JavaScript, each which is function declaration. A function declaration is the most common way to define a function. It has a clear syntax and is hoisted, meaning it can be called before it is declared in the code. Here is the example for function declaration. And coming to function expression. Functions can also be defined as expressions where the function is assigned to a variable. This can also be anonymous, meaning it does not have a name. It is all about function expression. And coming to arrow functions. Arrow functions introduced in ES6 offer a more concise syntax for defining functions. They also behave differently in terms of this keyword, inheriting it from the surrounded context rather than creating their own. This in JavaScript. Here is the example. And this is all about functions. And coming to variable, let, and constant. Okay, let us know about difference between var, let, and constant in JavaScript. The keywords var, let, and constant are used to declare variables in JavaScript. Each has different behavior in top of scoping, hosting, and mutability. Now, let us know about variable. Scope of this variable is function scoped or global scoped if declared outside any function. Hosting. A variable is declared with var or hosted to the top of the scope, but only the declaration is hosted, not the initialization. We can also redeclare these variables. You can redeclare a variable var in the same scope. Here. And coming to let. Let has a blocked scope within curly braces. Hosted variables declared with let are hosted with remain uninitialized until the declaration is uncounted. This is known as the temporal dead zone. Redeclaration in let or you cannot redeclare a let variable within the same block. This is the difference between var and let. Coming to constant, and constant has a blocked scoped hosting similar to let. Constant variables are hosted between but uninitialized. Redeclaration. You cannot redeclare a constant variable in the same block. Immutability. A constant variable cannot be reassigned. However, if the value is an object or an array, its properties or elements can still be modified. Inconstant. This is all about constant. And coming to importance of Java modules. Modules allow you to split your code into smaller, reusable chunks. Before ES6, JavaScript did not have built-in support for modules and developers had to use. So, to reduce this problem, we invented ES6 in JavaScript. This is all about a revision assignment of a JavaScript. And thank you for listening.